The cloud's expanded to actually encompass all of those things, because all of these things are now run as all IP types of applications and networks. So what's happened is that the only thing that's differentiating what's there and what you're actually running in the network is actually what you've got out at the end, right? Is it a set-top box? Is it a phone? Is it a telephone? You know, I mean, well, that's the only thing that's making it any different. And this all IP cloud, because it's an IP cloud and it's sending packets in various directions, it's not even going over your network anymore. Whatever network you thought you had, you know, you send a packet into it, and the path it goes through before it arrives at the other end could be anywhere. Right? So not only has everything become an all IP network, whether it's a mobile phone system or a cable TV system or whatever it is, I mean, everything's going in that same direction, a normal telecom system, or a data system, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, not only has it become that, not only has it all become the same, all IP type network, you don't even know which bit of what network the packets have gone over very often. So it's not even your network anymore that you thought you were controlling. So bits at the edges have got a rather more important job to do than they used to have in terms of making sure that all that works. And what we've got out there at the edges are all those things. We've got fibre to the curb and fibre to the home and hybrid fibre coax and all that stuff, right? And all those different things. And they're all working, and the reason they're important is because that's the problem we've got to solve, and they're also, by far and away, the thing that's actually controlling what happens in the network now, I mean, aside from the servers and stuff in the middle. So we finally ended up with some sort of separation, as I said to begin with. We've got content, which people are starting to understand is different from service provision, is different from the network. And for a long time, that hasn't really been the case. And for a long time, everybody who's in any of these layers has wanted to play in all the other layers. And that's probably been a mistake by and large. I mean, we found that walled gardens and special offers and all that sort of stuff, I mean, really haven't worked very well. Bundled things haven't worked very well in general. And there's a real requirement for people to stick to their knitting here and do something properly when they want to do it. However, having said all that, access is still the problem, because you know, it's relatively easier to double the bandwidth in the core network, or put 100 gigabits over your 40 gigabit fibres or something like that. I mean, you spend the money and it works, and it's sort of under your control, despite what I said just now, and you can manage it. However, the access network's a bit different, and the access network is where all the money is and where all the maintenance is and everything else. So we've got a few options, right? Well, we've still got copper. Still looks somewhat like this, and we are seeing VDSL, we are seeing higher speeds rolled out in places, but you know, it's still shared, it's still contended. Uplink speeds are poor compared with downlink speeds, and as everyone starts shipping video around, uplink becomes as important as downlink. And if you're in business and your business depends upon you serving things to other people, it's uplink you're worried about. You know, it's not downlink. It's more uplink than downlink, and as the web-based model spreads out to business in general, and I mean, can you think of any business today that doesn't use the web or doesn't have some relationship to it? I mean, the answer is no, you can't really think of any business hardly. I mean, I'm a potter, and the people in the ceramics and pottery industries, you know, and so I mean, everything's on the web now, whether it's glaze recipes or, you know, kiln designs or anything else, or how to do things, or sales, or anything of that sort. And so copper is still there. You know, we're going to fibre to the curb, but I'm very worried that that doesn't give you the right topologies. And if you were starting from scratch, you wouldn't have built it like that. And you're only building it like that because that's sort of what's there already, if you're BT, that is. Of course, if any of the rest of us want to build a fibre network, we can do what we like. And some of us are. But if we want to fibre the country, actually, I'm all up for it. So if anybody's got £18 billion, I'm willing to come in and help you build the network. Because no Telecoms Act anymore, you don't need a licence, right? Any of us can go and do it, right? Not like it used to be. Obviously, Virgin Media and the hybrid fibre coax systems for the cable systems are there and are being widely talked about and promoted at the moment, and I think quite rightly so. It's all going in the right direction. You know, there's more to come in terms of where the technology might take it, in terms of how many channels you want to use up. However, it's still shared. You know, it's still contended service, and that's okay for some things, and the speeds are going up. But it's not where we need to get to. Fibre to the home is where we need to get to. I don't mean to read Japanese, but this says, you know, ADSL is rubbish. They're on the bottom here. And the fact is, we thought this was happening. Again, we've been talking about it for years. And we ran a fibre, the Bishop's Stortford trial with BT. We put in 20 years ago.
It was before my time, yes. I've been at
20 years ago, I think, or more, right? Where we ran a fibre to the home trial and so on. And we could do it then, technically. I mean, it's not terribly different now, you know. We're only getting there very, very slowly. It's happening in a few places in the world, Japan and Korea, largely because of a number of other issues, things, opportunities. I mean, overhead wires to start with, so you don't have to dig up the road, and large concentrations of people in multi-dwelling buildings, which makes it a lot easier to do and a lot cheaper to do. So the economics of